I am a very stylish girl.
Hey there, YouTubers! TheTribalButterfly here again. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys something. When I was little, I did not actually get to play with Play-Doh that much because my mom didn't like me doing stuff that was really dirty. So I didn't like paint or play with Play-Doh or anything like that. So recently I was at Costco and they had the big, well, because Halloween's very close, so they had the big bag full of tiny little jars of Play-Doh. There's like 80 of them in there, and I was like, oh man, I've never played Play-Doh before, so I got it. And I didn't really know what to make out of it, and I was just fiddling with it, and I actually made like this really pretty rose, and I was like, oh, that's so cute, I wonder if I can make it again. So I literally made a cute little rose out of every single color of Play-Doh that was in that pack. So I think there's like 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever. Anyways, so I thought that was kind of cool, and for those of you out there who might want to learn how to make a rose out of Play-Doh, that's what this video is about. Okay, so if that totally sounds boring to you, you can just stop watching now, because that's literally all I'm going to do in this video is make a little rose out of Play-Doh. So, okay, so what you do if you want to make a rose out of Play-Doh is you take, like, you only need this much, because that's all I got in the bag. So it's like 80 jars this big. So this is all you need. So first thing I'm gonna do is open the jar. So these jars are so hard to open. So that's how much Play-Doh you get in the jar. It's very little. So I like to take what's stuck to the cap as well, because it's not very much, right? And you want to try to get as much as you can. So just take your Play-Doh out of this jar here, right? And yes, I did pick this color because it's pink and it kind of matches the shirt. You do actually use this entire jar to make your rose, but it's pretty cute, and it's about a regular rose size, so why wouldn't you use all of it? And then if you don't like your rose, you just smush it up and start over again. So this is all the Play-Doh that was in the jar, so you're just going to knead it for a while to make the Play-Doh nice and warm and soft and pliable and stuff. So, and you get a lot of it stuck on your fingers, so just, you can take some of that off. So once it's nice and kneaded, I just roll it. Try not to lose it. Roll it into a ball like this. And then I take that ball and I kind of just squeeze it into 2 other balls. Dirty, whatever. You guys are perfect. So now I have 2 balls. I'm going to take each of these 2 balls and I'm going to again squeeze them. Make them into another 2 balls each. So at the end of all this, I will have 4 balls. There, 4 balls. So then once you have your 4 balls, take them, squish them. Squish them flat. And I like to take some time doing this because I want to make sure that, I want to try to get it as symmetrical as possible, and I also want to make sure that I have it even the whole way throughout. I want to make sure that it's not super thin in some places and really thick in others, because I want it to be very consistent all the way throughout. So you'll do that with each ball. You will squish them flat, and then once they've kind of come to the thickness and the shape that you like, take them and as much as you can attempt to rip it in half. Well, that wasn't perfect, but I'm not keeping this rose that I make. I already made a pink one, so this rose isn't gonna last longer than this video. So if it's not totally perfect, then it's not the end of the world. I just want to show you guys how to do it, in case you ever want to. I'm sure you guys can think of lots and lots and lots of things you can use these roses for. You can either do what I did and harden them and use them on display. You can use them if you're not even making them out of Play-Doh. Say you're making it out of that sugary whatever that they make cakes, that they cover cakes with. Make roses. Put them on your cakes. Why not? It's a good idea. So yeah, each one of these 4 balls I'm just going to squish into a little pancake. Okay, cool. And when I've got it the size and thickness that I want, that's what she said, you just rip it in half. That was a good one. Right in half like that. Okay. One more to go. That's good enough. And rip. That one. It's not too bad. Okay, so what looks like a little bit like a heart, doesn't it? So, okay. Once you have ripped in half all your flattened balls, you should have 8 of these pieces. So what I usually try to do is I try to take the largest and maybe even the most misshapen one out of all of them, and that's the one I like to start with because it kind of gets buried in the middle. So take it and just roll it. I don't know if you guys can see this. Just roll that sucker. And what you want to do whenever you're rolling or whenever you're adding your petals is you want to roll from the bottom. Okay, because you do want the bottom to get nice and stuck together, but you don't really want the top, and I'll explain that later. Then you take the next piece, and at this point it's up to you if you want to decide to use a piece that's large or small, because you'll have some that are big and some that are tiny, like this one is so tiny. Yeah, and you'll just roll them on. And also, you know, you'll decide if you want to start it right after where the other one ended, or do you want to start it on another side, or what do you want to do? Just basically whatever looks nice in your eyes. What I usually do is I try to, you know, like steps, I try to like just slightly move it over from the last place. And then eventually, by rolling on these petals, you start to see the rose coming. You guys see this? So when I've got a big gap, see how it's mostly a lot of petals on this side and not really that many on that side? So now instead of doing it like steps, I'm actually just going to take one, put it right where it's needing some petals, like right there. That looks good to me. And then maybe once I've done that and I've evened out both sides, maybe now I'll start back to just trying to do it like steps, or maybe I'll just put another one on the next side over instead, you know, like this one here. But the trick is you always want to try to keep it as even as possible on both sides, but you also want to make sure that you're only squeezing down at the base of your rose, okay, and not at the top, because if you squeeze at the top, you're going to stick the top of your petals together. Now, right now, this rose looks pretty nice, right? That's pretty. I think I did a good job with this one. But if you want to give it just a little bit of extra touch to make it look a little bit more realistic, just gently take your finger and start peeling back those petals, okay? Make your rose bloom a bit by peeling those petals back. And you can already start to see how it really brings your rose to life. And I don't know if I've actually stumbled upon anything amazing. This is probably something all of you already know. But I thought it was kind of cool, so I wanted to show it to all of you guys out there who maybe didn't have much experience with Play-Doh when you were growing up either. So yeah. Actually, I think this one turned out pretty good. I'm going to be sad to destroy it. But, yeah, so there you go, guys. There's your Play-Doh rose. Hopefully I made a video that didn't offend anybody this time. And, yeah, there you go. I think it's really pretty. And again, like I said, I mean, these don't have to be totally useless. You can dry them and then put them in your hair. Or you can, you know, top presents with them, make a bunch of them. Honestly, if you're getting married and maybe you're a school teacher or something, why not make your bouquet out of Play-Doh roses? I mean, they look really pretty. So yeah, and don't worry if you have little imperfections in your petals, like if it's not a completely straight, smooth, whatever. I mean, not every rose is completely perfect, so I think it just adds to making it look realistic. So yeah, that's my Play-Doh rose, and hopefully it wasn't too boring a video for you guys. Maybe you learned something, I don't know. So yeah, that's it for me today. Hope to see you guys again next week. Bye!
I am a very stylish girl.